All right.
Here in Central Ohio, it was kind of a busy weekend, and I want to say a violent one.
It was.
To say the least. I mean, there was 4 shootings and a stabbing over the weekend.
And two of them involved juveniles. So we know the stabbing over the weekend was a 17-year-old boy, now arrested and charged with murder and felonious assault. This was the stabbing, right? Yes, this was the stabbing. Happened just before 7 yesterday morning over on Echo Drive up in North Columbus. So it's a 17-year-old boy accused of stabbing an adult. They found an adult with multiple stab wounds, taken to the hospital in critical condition. One person died, we know, and then another victim in this is expected to survive. So that's one of the incidents.
Yeah. We still there's still a lot of questions about, what happened there. We do not know. So maybe we'll get some updates from police today.
Right. And then there's the other shooting that happened over on the east side off Halladin Avenue. That one's still under investigation. This happened Saturday. This time, police found a man in the front yard of a home. Had a gunshot to his hand. He was taken to the hospital. He is expected to survive. And then there was another shooting. This one over on La Vista Drive, Northwest Columbus. That's if I'm correct, where La Vista Drive is. That's that Dublin-y Columbus area, kind of up by the airport. Left. That man's in critical condition. They found a man shot, took him to the hospital. That's the other one where a juvenile is currently arrested and faces domestic violence and assault charges. So 2 of these involve juveniles with firearms or weapons of some kind. Then right after that one on La Vista Drive, officers were called over to the Short North for a shooting there at North High and West 3rd. That happened 10:30 Saturday night. We do know one person was taken to Grant in stable. I mean, this was just like back to back to back over the weekend.
Yeah. And I was around that area around 10:30. I didn't hear anything, so I'm surprised I didn't.
Right. And
so I was home.
I don't know. It wasn't even usually. I mean, typically we see these kind of weekends when it's really nice weather outside and it's warm, but it was icky.
It was icky. People were still outside.
But there was a lot. But that highlights, because Memorial Day weekend is kind of the unofficial start to summer.
I know. The pools are supposed to open today, but
would not want to do that.
I don't want to
today.
go swimming today. That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
It's so sticky outside. I was doing live drives all morning, and it was gross.
Even yesterday was warm and sticky. But looking at. This is like right at that time that the city starts focusing on how do we keep the kids off the streets?
Yeah.
Because I think CCS is done this week.
Yeah, like this is the final week for a lot of for a lot of the schools in the area.
So the big goal of that is basically keep these kids busy. And I know we had, what is that program? Guns Down. It's focused on getting teens basically hooked up with services and youth programs and stuff through the summertime to keep them off the streets.
Right.
If you're busy, you can stay out of trouble.
And I have noticed they were the city was working on putting in better light bulbs on the streets in the Short North area. It made a big difference. Right. Like I said, I don't want to give my address away, but I live in the area, and having those brighter lights really helps because I wake up in the wee early morning hours of the day, and I can drive around now and I can see better. Just if someone's walking, it's a helpful thing. Thumbs up to the city of Columbus on that one.
And we do know that, at least it's a topic that comes up every year this time of like, how do we keep downtown Short North area safe for folks who are down there to not do bad things.
Who live there?
Right. And, it continually comes down to kids of like the city and the mayor being like, parent your children. It is not our job.
Parent your children.
Right. And he's said that before. It's like, it is not our job to raise your kids.
No. And a lot of the problems that happen with these juveniles, I mean, it does start at home. Parents need to keep track of their kid. And if they're not home by a certain time, find out where they are instead of letting them roam. Yeah. But we actually have sound from Columbus City Mayor Andrew Ginther about the steps that the city is taking to ensure that the whole downtown area stays safe this summer.
This is when we talked to him a couple weeks ago about this.
What we've continued to see is young people who should not be out are out and gathering and loitering and getting into trouble. But they're also potential victims of crimes by being out after hours. What's the old saying? My mama used to say nothing good happens after midnight. Well, particularly for young people.
I stand by that. Nothing good happens after midnight.
Right. And there is a curfew for young people. If you're under 13, you have to be off the streets
An
like
hour
an hour after sunset.
Which sunset's kind of what
It's
time is
late.
that?
I mean, gosh, we're
later.
almost 9 o'clock at this point. And then if you're a teen, 12 or 13 to 17, you've got to be off the streets by midnight.
Right.
And, you know, at least they've said this year they do intend to enforce that.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
We will keep watching. But anyway, yeah, I love the brighter lights downtown.
Yeah, that is nice.
It's wonderful.